Hello guys, here we go. We are starting 8.2, which is area and circumference of circles. So we're going to define a few things first. So a circle is the set of points equidistant from a given point called the center. Okay, so the center is pretty much the reverse. Okay, it is given point, PT stands for point, in which all points are equidistant the given point in which all points are equidistant from. You would label this as example, circle P, which is going to be right over here. We're going to show this. So there's the center, and that is called circle P. The radius is the distance from center to any point on the circle. So for instance, I go from the center to the edge. Okay, that is the radius. And we're going to call this point here A. So therefore, the radius is equal to line AP. Now the diameter is the distance across the circle through the center and also the diameter is twice the radius because it's in a sense two radiuses. Okay, so for instance, it goes all the way across. So we'll say this is point B, so my radius is going to go all the way across. Not the radius, I'm sorry, the diameter goes all the way across. So an example is that the diameter is BA, line BA or line AB. The circumference is the distance around the circle. It's just a fancy word for, well, no, it is not perimeter because there's a difference. Okay, here we go. So now we're solving. Well, we first have to write our formulas. So for the area of a circle, that formula is pi r squared. For the circumference, you have two. You have 2 pi r, which is when you're given the radius, or you can do the circumference equals pi times the diameter. Either one works. Okay, so now we're going to work a couple of examples. So if I'm finding this one, we're finding area. So the first thing I do is write my formula, pi r squared. So we're going to have plug in, for pi, we're going to use 3.14. So we're going to have 3.14 times, oh, wait, I want you to plug in pi last. plug in pi last. So we're going to have pi times, this is my radius, 3 squared. So this is going to be 9 pi. So I'm going to do 9 times 3.14. And we get to do the handy dandy calculator, 9 times 3.14, which gives me, and it says to round to the nearest tenth. So when I plug this in, it gives me 28.26. So therefore, this is going to equal 28.3. But I need to leave room. So my area equals 28.3 meters squared. Okay. Next example. We're jumping down to if I've got to find the area of a semicircle. Okay. The half circle is called a semi. So half of a circle is called a semicircle. So here we go. Well, this is a semicircle. This is the diameter. But remember, when I'm finding the area, okay, so it's a semicircle. So I'm going to do all of this, but divide by 2. But this is the diameter. I need the radius. So I'm going to divide this by 2 to give me my radius of 11.3. So I'm going to have pi times 11.3 squared, all divided by 2. So I've got to do 11.3 times 11.3. So I have 127.69 pi, all divided by 2. Remember, I'm plugging in pi last. So divide this by 2 now. And I'm going to have 63.845 times 3.14. We write all the decimals until the very end. And now I round to the 10th place. So my area number is 200.4733. I need to round to the 10ths, so therefore this one's going to round up. So my area is 200.5 inches squared. Okay, next example. All right, we're finding the circumference. Okay, so to find the circumference, we're given the radius. So this is 2 pi r. So we have 2, this is my radius. So we have 2 times 17 times pi, which is 34 pi, which is 34 times 3.14, which equals, again, we're rounding to the 10th place. So this is going to be 106.8 millimeters. This is my circumference. So notice my units are not squared. The only difference to do for number 9 is we're dealing with the diameter. So we do pi times the diameter. So I'm going to do 19 times 3.14, which is the circumference equals 59.66 centimeters. Oh, but wait a minute. I want to round to the 10th place. So this should be 59.7 centimeters. It is what my circumference is. Okay, looking at the next example. Number 11. We want to find the radius, and it tells me the area. So I'm plugging into my area formula. So I have 706.9 equals pi r squared. Well, remember, okay, so this is wanting to divide by actual pi. Okay. Okay, so this is wanting you to actually divide by pi, which means you have to punch in pi in the calculator. You can't see. So I'm going to do, notice I tried 3.14, 706.9 divided by, you'll notice there's the pi button right here. You can't see my finger. Right here, it's in blue, so I'm going to hit second pi, press enter, and you notice, oh, we're rounding to the tenths. So we have that 225 equals r squared. Well, to find out what r is, I have to take the square root of each side. So therefore, r equals 15 millimeters. Okay, last example. Remember, you can pause and stop, or you can come and see me if you've got questions. Looking at 16. Okay, Lisa has a circular garden with a diameter of 17.5. If she uses 3 teaspoons of fertilizer for every 30 square feet, how much fertilizer will she need? So we want to know how much fertilizer to cover the garden. Well, first I've got to find the area of the garden. So area equals, that's the diameter, is 17.5. To figure out the radius, we have to divide by 2. So that's 8.75. So then we have pi times the radius squared. So that's going to be 8.75 squared times pi. So this is 76.5625 times 3.14. So this is, my area is going to be, we're rounding to the tenths. So this is 240. Oh, not 240. Wait a minute. Yeah, 240 point, it's using the pi, 0.4, but it says 3 teaspoons for every 30 square feet. That's a ratio, guys. Oh, what's my units here? This is feet squared. So I have 3 teaspoons for every 30 feet squared. Well, I can set up a proportion, x over 240.4. And I solve. Oops, it slid down. Let me fix that. So I solve my proportion. We multiply diagonally. So I have 30x equals 3. So I get 721.2 divide by 30. And we get that x equals 24.04. Well, if I've got to start, and this right here is teaspoons, but if I have to start that teaspoon, then I have to finish it. So therefore, the amount of teaspoons needed is 25 teaspoons of fertilizer. Okay, you will finish the notes. Y'all have a great day. Bye.